Road trip. So we are in the Auvergne right now. So we drove 2.5, almost 3 hours. There is a big chateau, and all the contents were sold, and we got a couple of items, which I now have to see how I can get them, because there's no one at the chateau. Always a good thing when you arrive here and there's nothing. And so the roads got smaller and smaller and smaller, and at the end here it's just one car wide. That's it. And I thought the entire time, where am I going to go if there is someone coming toward me? Because, you know, it's silly. And if you can see this, it's not really snowing. It's actually like mini ice hail, ice pebbles that come down. I'm looking at cows, and honestly, I know we live in a country chateau, which we wanted. Looking at this here, okay, there is nothing even close by. So the closest is Clermont-Ferrand within like an hour. So that would be a bit too rural even for us. So anyways, I'm waiting to see if anyone shows up. I have another 6 minutes, but we're in France. Let's see. Okay, we're all loaded up. It was great because it was the international convention here. It was great. So I met a gentleman from the Black Forest who is a concert harpist. He just bought a harp here. He left Germany at 1 o'clock in the morning to get here to pick up his harp that he got. Fantastic, just amazing. An Italian antiques dealer who's going to come visit. So great community. Didn't expect that, but always happy and helping each other out. Couldn't be any better. So now I'm on my way back, and hopefully there's no more snow, because I was told there were quite a few cars off the road, and I'd rather be home with the dogs and Stuart and continue the restoration than getting off the road. So let's go. Well, hello from the dining room of the Château de Cologne here. We have to transport two incredible medallions who were restored in 1997 in Lyon. They came from a chateau. And they are right now on the dining table, not a good place for them. And we are now parking them temporarily until they go to their destination in the north wing of the chateau, where I put in huge hooks because I'm mortally afraid that they will fall down and break. These are phenomenal. They are the bust of a man and a woman with the hairdo of the 18th century. So, who do I start with? I should start with Madame. What do you think?
Okay.
Appa, got her. Oui. And these are very heavy. Yeah, we also have to clean them at some point, Stuart. Oh my. Well, that looks completely different when you see them actually hanging. Okay, this is Monsieur. Ah. Okay. No, ow. Well, hello there again. Our round trip series continues. Mm-hmm. We have a ginormous chest of drawers. It's bomb shaped, so with incredible gilded bronze handles, and the marquetry work is fantastic. And painting, we have poofs.
Mm-hmm. We a bit underestimated, I think, the size of everything. So that's why I'm like, I have furniture on my lap. Here,
well, it's a poof. It's really not that big a deal. If he would sit there with a chest of drawers, we wouldn't make it home. Anyway, so I think we have to have an episode with the incredibly amazing French antiques that we have now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, let's go then.
Okay.
And let's just say it's not quite light, but, and I'm going to do this so I can actually, that is lovely. That is really nice. Has the ball, has it everything. And now I'm putting it back down because this is very heavy. Okay. Okay, I'm very happy with this.
Oh, yeah.
Because we needed one that was not too deep. This is 90 centimeters, so it's the max we could hang. But I could still walk underneath, and I'm taller than most. Not than everyone. We can have people who are taller, but we will have a little table underneath in the center of the room, so that it's kind of visually you won't walk through it. That's very nice. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to clean this because it's in functioning order, but it needs to be cleaned if I do this in the workshop, or if I'm going to do this hanging off our or here in, well, we did this big one we did right here.
We did.
So I can put a chain,
Yeah.
and some fabric to not scratch it, but I can hang it right here when we're done with plaster work and upstairs, because that's the last thing I need to do. And now we need to take the Napoleon III chandelier down. That is going to Italy, to Sicily. And when the couple that bought it are, when they can travel again, they're going to pick it up, and I'm very much looking forward to it. It's one of our patrons. And this is the last thing that will go into that room, won't it?
Right.
Well, maybe paintings, but
yeah.
Now talking about paintings, shall we have a look at the haul we just did? I mean, it was, I don't know, how many paintings do we have? 14, 16?
Right, and again, you got some of them just because they had nice frames and they were very inexpensive. Some came in lots. So you got multiples, maybe one or two in a lot weren't anything that we would have, but they were great prices. And we were very, very positively surprised because one is like what they usually call a Regency dress, so very Jane Austen. And it came with a watercolor that is so exquisite. And we didn't know. I mean, it was just these small photos, and these are really stunning. And we have a Venetian painting, very cliche and very lovely. And it's most of this will go into our new bed and breakfast room, because it's gonna, I think, gonna be really stunning. So, shall we have a look? Okay.
Okay. So these two were in a lot. They were one lot. And these are both watercolors. This is very Jane Austen, Regency. And this is an incredibly beautiful Italian scene with a staircase. I could not paint watercolors that way. That is so gorgeous.
That is so detailed. It's like a mural almost. It's amazing, isn't it?
I would love to have that in like 1 meter by 2 meter. I mean, it's like big, but it's just lovely. And it was so ridiculously cheap. It was, couldn't pass it on, could we?
No.
So we saw these, and very often when we have a gathering here, we are more than 7 people can easily, comfortably sit here. But once this is heated, we just, you have to have a chair here, and it's kind of annoying to move. And we have, of course, the another settee over there. So we found these at the last auction. I think they're actually quite charming because you can use them as a footstool. We can use them right here and in front of the fire, or over there. So they're just an occasional piece. I think they're really quite charming, and it would be nice if the fabric would be in slightly better shape, but I could, of course, we have still fabric, we could of course match them with our set.
We could.
Okay, now let me go here, because we haven't said anything about it.
So we saw this at an auction and we really liked it and we had plans for it. And as it so often happens, I should have measured before we bid on it. But we got it, I wouldn't say it was cheap, but it was incredibly good value for money. And we wanted to have this for upstairs, and it is absolutely perfect for here. It's amazing. And the quality of the inlaid wood is fantastic. There are two tiny pieces missing here from the veneer, which we can color in. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's usage. It's approximately 100 years old, we think. So it's a reproduction, it's not an original, because those we couldn't afford. They go for tens of thousands. But it's really lovely here. And so the Petit Salon has changed yet again, and it will change one more time over for the time being. And that's decoration. And I think then we are done with this room for the season, aren't we?
Yeah.
Now this is one of those occasional tables that is so helpful when you have a larger grouping. So we just couldn't say no at an auction, and I have to admit it was incredibly cheap. So we're very lucky we have it. Ron wanted to steal it, so no, he said, I need something like this, and this is just perfect. And we got these two still lifes because we will eventually work in our china room, where we have china, crystal, and linen then. And we decided that maybe it would be a nice idea to have more still lifes or flower paintings in there. And these two came up for auction and we couldn't say no again. So the quality of those is really
very well done.
Yes, and since we both paint in oil, painting metal with the light reflecting in it, or being reflected in it, and the china bowl, this is exquisite. It's really nice. The right one also incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, and that frame is amazing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
so can't go wrong, and they will go in our china room once we are done with that in 1 or 2 years. So this is quite lovely. It's a French river scene, cute chateau, keep, bridge. It's nothing special, but it's really adorable, and that's we know exactly where that's going to go into a new gîte. So not all this artwork goes in the chateau. We also need some for the gîte. So there we go. We did buy a portrait of a gentleman. And I think it's actually, I don't know if the light hits it wrong.
I'm just going to move until I get the light off the...
Yeah, maybe not.
You tip it down a bit.
Hold on. Let me switch this.
Okay.
Maybe that works. Okay. Is that better?
There we go, right there.
Ah.
Okay.
So, he can be added to our collection of portraits. I think it's lovely. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, there you go.
So, beautiful landscape, mountains, fit anywhere in a chateau. So yes, there is the very stereotypical Venetian canal scene, and it's lovely. Beautiful frame, and that would definitely go into the new bed and breakfast room.
Yeah.
And then we have a map from 1640 something, and it's actually German, and it's framed, and we saw something like very similar at an antique show, and it was so incredibly expensive. And then you see this at an auction, and I think we paid 50 euros for this, and so we'll hang it here in the Grand Salon once we are done with the rehab of that. But really pretty, we liked it, so here we go. So here's something that people will either love or hate it, because this is angels, because they have wings, right? So beautiful wood carving, then it's with gypsum, and then it's gilded, and it's gilded in two-tone. This is a bronze tone. And we liked it. We didn't have really a place in mind where it would go. And it fits perfectly above our door from the Grand Salon into the entrance hall, and that's where it's going to go. So the clock that's up there right now will move. I love that clock, but I always have to have a ladder to wind it, and it strikes beautifully. And so that is going over on that, above that door, and that's actually really exciting because that will finish that wall up beautifully. Well, this is totally exciting. This piece is so exquisite, this chest of drawers or commode. The marble is exceptionally stunning. Quite honestly, I wasn't sure if I would like it, and when we saw it in person, because we did buy it sight unseen, meaning we had pictures, but they're never as detailed. We fell in love with it, and this was supposed to go in a different room. It is so striking, it had to go here. And we were very, very lucky to have Martin and Margaret are here. They're patrons of ours for years and have become wonderful friends, and they are helping. It's amazing how much 4 or 5 people can get accomplished compared to just the 2 of us. So it's really amazing. Thank you both for helping us out here. The artwork, a lot of this will go upstairs into the new bed and breakfast room. Very pleased with that. We have most of the furniture, but we do have another 2 trips coming up to collect things. And one of those trips is going to Paris. Now, I know that's terrible. What a hardship, right? But we're looking forward to that because that also means we can look for fabric for the bed and breakfast room, which will be a totally cramped full day. But it's totally exciting. And then we have a few other antiques that we got at auction that need to be collected. Completely polar opposite directions, but we're all going to get this done in the next couple of, well, by the end of May. I hope we will have everything here sorted out and the bed and breakfast room completely restored in its former glory. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we see you on Friday. And now I have to go back to work. Goodbye.
If you enjoyed this video, please use the like feature to let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Journey to the Chateau YouTube channel if you would like to see more. Once you've subscribed, you can tap the notification bell in order to ring it, which will allow you to receive all notifications from our channel. Thank you.